What led to your success as a senior manager and a leader?
How does one become a successful manager? My journey is no different from any other young aspiring senior manager potential. My journey starts from within, being confident, demonstrate adaptability, humble to inspire trust, courageous in time of crisis, and always self-driven for results. I knew I was an action-oriented individual like anyone else, but I knew I had to develop my industry intellect, foster open communication skills, manage processes, and coach and counsel people. This process took a long time. Most times it did not balance with my passion, restricted my trust in my own capabilities, left good companies, and taking on risk and different challenges. I do not aspire to be a leader, but how I manage is important, that I anchor my attitudes and management skills of leadership qualities into my day-to-day efforts at the workplace. These anchor points include motivating employees and minorities, building business relationships, pushing my limits in aspirational goals and relationships, leading with versatility, driving for shareholder and stakeholder successes, and taking some risk. Leadership will always remind myself about my behaviors, how I profile my influences and desires and outcomes on others, and how best I could get the best out of my people.
What do you feel are the three most important leadership qualities?
Good question. There is a long list of leadership qualities, but are game changers for me in this order. These are game changers. Accountability. Simply, I'm accountable for all my actions, my team's performance, their shortfalls, and our successes. Number two, as per Peter Drucker, management is about doing the right things, and leaders is about doing the things right. I try to set this across all levels of my personal pathways and career. Being honest is a quality that can be defined differently on various levels, but I am an optimist, and I choose to work with whatever executive platforms I am offered to influence better outcomes. But personally, I know personally, one can achieve honest and trusted outcomes more than executives in boardrooms.
What advice do you have for dealing with a crisis?
What advice do you have for dealing with a crisis? Well, we are now in a lot of uncertainty because of a foreign influence that has impacted millions of lives. Some sadly have deceased from it. COVID-19 is so foreign, it is a disaster, a crisis, a terrorism, a virus, but whatever it is the worst of all crises in our lifetime. It is a great example. The global pandemic allowed aspiring leaders and executives to see through the same window of the same issue being managed so differently, highlighting the conservative, the emphatic, the non-visionaries, the lack of leadership, the short-sightedness, and the lack of trust leadership. The past 2 months was a tsunami of leadership qualities and styles, labeled and bookcased on shelves in a library overnight. The crisis has highlighted so many levels of leadership or lack of leadership. So what advice do I have in time of crisis? Simply a leadership of advisors. Find them, recruit experts, listen and motivate key stakeholders frame by frame of what the crisis and the desired outcomes are. Establish key leaders within the team and determine a framework of execution of things that has to happen. So empathy, listen attentively, understand the relationships needed internal and external, and empower stakeholders. applies seasoned and good common sense leadership and very sound judgment.
What is your top tip for future and upcoming leaders?
Leadership qualities does not necessarily come from institutions of higher learning. At the start, I did mention it starts from within. It starts from within. You are your own host and director of your journey. There are different types of leadership that is very rewarding and very self-gratifying, but I prefer DISC, leadership concepts and applications, being dominant and understanding it, inspiring and understanding in it, supportive and understanding in it, and caring cautiously and understanding in it. Best wishes and stay safe.